You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming. It's Sunny Mountain Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you and have a Let's Play episode of Repeat of Owen's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. It's probably best we head back inside, huh? We did basically skip class. Ah, good point. Why don't you head back inside first? I'll go around and make sure Phillip's alright too. Sounds good. I'll see you around. Let out a long sigh. Things just keep getting heavier around here. As I turned to start my search, Owen called out from behind me. Adrian! Yeah? I know this isn't much in terms of thanks, but I want you to have this. Owen handed me a small origami paper crane. Its folds and creases looked perfectly aligned, as if someone had put a lot of time and care into making it. My mom always said these things bring good luck. Yeah, I figure you should have it. I took the little orange crane and held it in my hands delicately. Did you make this yourself? Who would have thought you'd have such a dainty little hobby? I'll let you know that I'm the daintiest guy you'll ever meet. Thanks, man. I'll take good care of it. You better. It's 1,000 years of bad luck if you lose it. Anyway, I'll see you back in class. Thanks again for earlier, Adrian. Owen was grinning as he left for class. His retreating back looked a little more optimistic in the morning sun. I made my way towards the English building where the creative writing class stood, my mind cluttered with quiet thoughts. Problems just kept popping up today, didn't they? Wonder how Sissel was doing. He's been at Mr. Rokov's office this whole time. Hopefully he hadn't run into any bad luck and drama like I had. Adrian, we've got a problem. Whoa, give me a warning before you pop up like that. That corrupted wish from earlier, it's gone. A hushed silence rang in my ears as I looked about the courtyard. There wasn't a single trace of the strange figure from this morning. Where could it have gone? Didn't you say it was too weak to move on its own? This is bad. Well, it's not like the thing with no arms can do much damage, right? Are you kidding? It's a wish, Adrian. That thing can twist circumstances and bring disaster or misfortune, just like me. Hell, it's probably bringing misfortune with its presence alone. I doubt it's a coincidence that problems have been popping up for you and your friends around the same time it showed up. That corrupted wish is what's been causing all of our problems? And more like the problems are already there, and he's making them much worse. Causing Phillip to feel more stressed, forcing Dolores to act more aggressive, encouraging the school faculty's apathy. Is there anything we can do to get rid of it? We can't just leave that thing walking around cursing people. There's not much we can do. Adrian, you better go find Sissel at Mr. Rokov's office. We should at least make sure no other problems are popping up. Got it. With a second thought, I raced off towards the faculty office building. Please be alright. I snuck quietly through the halls of the office building and inched my way towards Rokov's office. As I turned the corner, I was shocked to find... Adrian? Phillip, what are you doing here? Shh! They might hear you. Phillip grabbed my shoulder and pulled me down low. Looks like I wasn't the only one who was worried. Now that you're here, we might as well be eavesdroppers together. Sounds like a plan. Together, we crawled towards Mr. Rokov's office. The door was slightly cracked open, revealing voices inside. Phillip and I pressed our ears against the door, straining our ears. It sounded like several people were arguing loudly in there. Wait, that voice sounds familiar. Dolores. I figured it was weird how he didn't show up to class earlier. The voices inside the office began rising in volume as their conversation got more aggressive. There's no question about it. This brat stole it. Another familiar voice cut in angrily. What the hell are you even talking about? I literally have nothing to do with this. You dragged me all the way here to accuse me of random shit out of the blue? Language, Mr. Sissel. However, I will have to agree with you. Mr. Dolores, you really have no evidence that Mr. Sissel stole the Academy funds besides your own words. There was a sharp poof, as if Dolores just spat in Mrs. Corliss's face. Sissel snarled and almost lunged at him, but was stopped by Mrs. Corliss placing a hand on his shoulder. From outside the room, I blinked in confusion as the weight of the situation set in. Someone stole money from the school? And from the sound of it, a pretty large sum, too. It sounds bad. If Dolores manages to pin this all on Sissel, there'd probably be severe legal action against him. Dolores was shouting again, his grating voice dragging me out of my daze. Who the hell needs evidence with a scumbag like this? Let's get to it and lock him up. This rag is barely scraping by as it is. Some students even reported seeing him sneak out last night. Given his criminal background, is there really anyone else who would have the nerve to steal from the school's funding? Mr. Rokov coughed hesitantly in the background. Really, Dolores, that is just pure speculation. Sissel has clearly turned a new leaf before I admitted him into Durrani Academy, and I have full confidence. And now you're short $10,000 in funds. Great choice, Rokov. I told you that you should have rejected this sack of shit before. Philip? The room was silent as Philip quietly walked in, with me awkwardly behind him. May I help you, Philip and Adrian? Mr. Dolores sneered at us from the back of the office. Eavesdropping on faculty meetings, are you? Brat, if I were the principal at this wretched academy, I would have you expelled. I apologize for eavesdropping. Really, I'm quite sorry. But really, you can hardly call it eavesdropping when half the campus can hear you shouting. Shall we expel all of them as well, Mr. Dolores? Well,
That aside, Philip, it was very rude and inappropriate of you to interrupt.
I assure you it's for a good reason. I may have an idea of who stole the funds, Mr. Rokov. Another silence echoed as everyone stared dumbfounded.
What?
Mr. Phillip, is this true? He's just bluffing. Any sort of lead would be most helpful. More helpful than wild accusations, at the very least. I'd like to hear what Philip has to say. Mrs. Corliss gave us an affirming nod. I couldn't help but stare nervously towards Philip. Did he really know something about this? This was an actual crime. We couldn't half-ass our way with lies and bluffs. Philip sent me a reassuring smile before taking a deep breath. This morning I was coming to your office for my meeting with Mr. Rokov. I passed by Mr. Dolores' house at the edge of campus and noticed something strange.
Strange? In what way?
Eyes were trained on Mr. Dolores, who suddenly looked rather nervous. There were huge red words spray-painted all across his walls, words like thief, hypocrite, and swindler. You got marked by the Black Cat! Those are just the lies of another criminal! I'm being framed! Really? Are we actually going to listen to the Black Cat of all people? He's wanted by the police, for Pete's sake! He could be the one who stole it for all we know! At the same time, the Black Cat's marks do have a history of being rather accurate. What are you saying? Well, I think it'd be worth a shot to call campus security and have them check out your home. But... Being the honorable type of teacher you are, Mr. Dolores, you should have nothing to hide. Security just has to do a quick search to ensure you don't have the money sitting in your house. It'll be quick and painless. I don't see why you would refuse them unless you really are the thief. Alright, fine, I'll do it. This is just a big waste of time. Just make sure they don't mess anything up. Everyone glanced over at Mr. Rokov expectantly. The vice principal blinked in stunned silence before reaching for the phone with a sigh.
Very well. I will call campus security and have them search Dolores' home. Today certainly has taken the turn towards the unexpected.
We all waited silently in the office, tension hanging high. Sissel, Philip, and I sat in a corner, occasionally exchanging nervous glances. Would Philip's claims really throw suspicion off of Sissel? He could still get in a lot of trouble for this. This was quite the mess we found ourselves in. Ring! Banana phone! Doop-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Everyone jumped as Mr. Rokov hesitantly picked up the phone.
Hello? Yes. Really? All right.
Mr. Rokov hung up the phone and looked at Mr. Dolores grimly. Well?
Well, for one, your house is a mess of spray-painted words at the moment. More importantly, they found all the school's cash funds stashed under your sofa, Dolores. What do you have to say for yourself?
What? I never stole the money, I swear! I'm being framed, I tell you! There was a knock at the door as campus security stormed in and surrounded Dolores. His face was beet red with fury and indignation. This is madness! You can't do this to me!
If you have any explanations, I'd love to hear them. In the meantime, Philip and Adrian, thank you for your help. Please leave the office and allow us to deal with this.
What about me?
Stay here, Sissel. We may still need you.
Philip and I made our way to the door, glancing back at Sissel nervously. Would things really be alright like this? We didn't say a word until we got outside. I finally got out of breath. I didn't realize I was holding. That was interesting. A lot happened in that short time. Hey, at least I caught the thief, right? Now we don't have to worry about Sissel being thrown in jail for something he didn't do. And Dolores is getting fired for this, no doubt. He'll finally be out of our hair for good. Most importantly, he won't be able to hurt Sissel anymore. All's well that ends well, I guess. I'm glad that things got settled quickly, but something about this whole thing feels a little off to me. You're just overthinking it. It's pretty simple. Dolores stole the money and tried to pin it on Sissel so that he could get away with it. But instead, he got caught red-handed. Mystery solved. I suppose it's just karma at work. Beautiful karma, Owen approached us, his face grim. Phillip fidgeted nervously but tried to keep a smiling face. Hey, Owen, about earlier.
Hey, let's set that aside for now. There are more important things to talk about. I overheard everything in the office. Phillip, could you?
What do you mean?
Owen sighed and scratched his head apprehensively. Last night you said you'd be studying on the roof, but you didn't, did you? You snuck out and didn't come back until dawn. Something clicked in my mind as I stared from Owen to Phillip.
Phillip, did you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, I'll put it plainly. You stole the funds and framed Dolores, didn't you?
Really? Just because I snuck out doesn't mean I did it. Sissel snuck out too. I don't see you questioning him. Is this your way of getting even with me?
Geez, do I look that petty?
Phillip, did you show up at the meeting You did show up at the meeting at a pretty convenient time. Heh. Even you, Adrian? Fine. I admit it. I was the one who stole the money and pinned it on Dolores. But can you honestly say he doesn't deserve it?
Deserve it? You're losing him his job.
He was abusing his job. That prick attacked and sabotaged students. He practically choked Sissel. Do you honestly believe this guy deserves his job? I'm doing everyone a favor here.
What you're doing is making you no different than Dolores. Phillip, you do realize you're breaking the law and ruining someone's life.
What is the point of the law if it can't even protect the people who need it most? The last thing I want to hear is some stuck-up preaching from a rich and spoiled brat.
Owen blinked and his lips trembled for a moment. He took a step back as Phillip continued to hiss heavily in rage. Alright, I'm going to pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!